What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Today, on Wagtail Wednesday, I'm going to write down the list of the reasons why you would want to have a tool such as the one I've been featuring lately. What are the benefits? Why should this be in your toolbox? Well, I'm going to explain that all to you. Take notes, save the video. So if you try to explain it to someone else, you can tell them to watch the video, because I will explain it in layman's terms so they can understand. I will tell you all the benefits and all the advantages, and maybe even some of the disadvantages compared to some of the other wagtail tools. Every wagtail tool has its specialty use on different types of glass. It depends on what you're doing. But I'm going to tell you what glass is good for what tool. You know, I'm going to explain to you a little bit without making the video too long. I know some of you's attention span isn't that long. So I'm going to try to touch on the high flyer for some of you guys that want to know what best tool to start off with if you're just getting into wagging. You know, some tools are easier to get down with than others. And I'm going to explain to you which ones I suggest you starting off with. The Precision Glide / Slipstream Plus / Power Pivot One Pass. Each one of them may seem like they're the same, but they're really, really not. I don't know how to explain it. They all do the same thing. They can all be used as a one-pass tool, but I really can't explain it. I would have to show it to you in most cases, but I'll try to explain it later in this video. But I wanted to stress that on this job that I'm going to, that I'm about to show you when I get there, I normally use my prototype 30-inch orbital combo with a mop and squeegee, and it's water fed. That is the fastest way I've gotten that glass done. A tool like that you can only use on big sheet glass anyway, or just if you want to keep it simple and do straight pulls. You might have a large glass that you can get it in 2 pulls if you had like a 24 or 30-inch. Sometimes you may have a little window left over and you have to make 3 pulls with a 24-inch. And sometimes if you don't have enough water left, you could fight with the stroke on the way down, but not with the right solution. But what I'm saying is, if you had a 30-inch, you could eliminate that 3rd stroke and just get it in 2 pulls. So if you have a long stretch of windows, you can see the time saved and eliminating that 3rd pull. I'm talking about seconds to do that 3rd pull, but by the time you get down that long stretch, you done shaved off about 3 or 4 minutes. That's 3 or 4 minutes you could use to get ahead on another side of a building, you know, and then you save 3 minutes over there. You feel me? You see where this is going? It adds up to like a half an hour's time. If you want to calculate it down by the end of the day, you know what I mean? But that's just an example of saving time on jobs. How much time you can save in a day, and then you times that times the time that you save in that day, you times that times 5 or 7 days a week. I don't know how many days a week some of you work, but I work 6 or 7 days a week. I get it in. But see, I ain't got no kids, at least none that I know of. The only kids I got is adopted kids, and they all make me money. I put them to work, baby. But I actually going to invest. You see this job that I'm about to show you? I can get done much sooner than that. And I'm going to tell you why. Well, what could be possibly get you done sooner than a 30-inch orbital mod? I'll tell you, a 30-inch orbital one pass. That's what. Water fed at that. Okay? That's how I'm balling. That's how I'm playing. All right? Shit, don't hate the player. Hate the game, baby. I'm telling you, all day, every day, I stick and move. Y'all be like, damn, this guy, he wants some bullshit. But nah. Bullshit aside. Bullshit or not. Hold on one second.
Hello.
Hello, top of the morning to you. I need a receipt.
Okay.
Oh, I'm about to hand you the $1.
Thanks. Have a nice one.
That will make somebody holler. You did what? You took $1? Well, you gonna have to pay out your pocket.
Bye-bye.
Take care. Hey, I'm not gonna have time to write this down because after I make this video, I gotta get right back to work. But this is their other location. That pizza store I told you I set the record at, and y'all said it would take y'all an hour. This is their other one, and I showed y'all previously how I got this with Wagtail without using ladders, with all those cross beams in there. Not many people could have done that, even with a Wagtail, unless you're good. Unless you're good. I'm probably one of the best pole guys you'll ever see in this game, because I've done impossible stuff that you would normally have to do with a ladder. Now, most people will ladder this, without a doubt. You see that big ass, excuse my French, you see that big ledge? It's about 6-7 inches wide. All right, now, especially when you're doing high pole work and you got a big ledge such as that, and you got all these tables that you might not be able to maneuver around, and those cross beams, they're lights, so you can't, they're very fragile too. So one person who would attempt to try to do this, the person that would attempt, anyone in general, they would just say, it's best we get a ladder up there. But it's kind of hard to get a ladder because you have to have the ladder extended out, which means when you get up to the top, you're not going to be able to fit your body behind those cross beams. So you would have to use stack ladders and come in on an angle. But even then, you're stuck, limited, because when you get all the way to the top, it's kind of hard to stick the stack ladders up because even on an angle, you would have to take a short pole once you're up on that ladder. That's the only way I could see getting it done. Take a look. You could decide whether or not how you would do it. Yeah, you could put a pad on a pole and squirt it if you had the indoor Unger spray thing or whatever, dingy. But I don't think they make one to go up that high. I could be wrong. But I'm going to use this tool on this job and see if I get done faster. Now, I know it's not a fair comparison because my 30-inch is larger than that, obviously. But this is a one-pass tool. And you see, nobody's putting fingerprints all the way up there. So without skipping the windows, you can still do your job, but do it much faster than you normally would have. Because it ain't, if you're here weekly, it's not really dirty up there, you feel me? But you can't just skip it all together. You gotta at least look like you're cleaning it, even if you're not. But this way, not only does it look like you're cleaning it, it is cleaning it because it's a one pass. It's getting the dust off. The only downfall, this is part of the advantages. The only downfall is you'll get boogies and you'll have to wipe them every once in a while or pluck them from the actual pad itself. So we have a one pass, great for if it's a light coat of dust, great for tint. Now, tint could be a little grippy, and you can't just go putting a lot of harsh chemicals or soap on tint. So this value comes into play the utmost on that alone. And I'll tell you what else. For those who like using GG4, this is the only user-friendly tool in conjunction with GG4. And here's the reason why. GG4 doesn't have suds and bubble retention. It lacks glide. This is why you got to put GG Glide in your water. Well, first off, I mentioned that you're using GG4 all wrong. You don't know how to squeegee with GG4. You can't squeegee a window with GG4 like you normally would. You have to have a very light touch. All right, even if you're using pure water, this tool is a very good value because it adds glide like you put soap in that plain water. You feel me? Here's another little tip. When you use GG Glide, if you guys are working by squirt bottle, try this. Try using distilled water as your base to mix GG4 in there. I guarantee you'll find yourself not really having a detail at all because the residue that's left behind is pure water. It shouldn't have that big of a deal when it comes to leaving a residue behind like you normally would with soap. Soap leaves a microscopic residue anyway, but visibility is only because you didn't clean the water off the glass properly. But with distilled water and GG4, it gets the glass crystal clear without much detailing involved. Okay, so that's another little tip that you could use. It reduces rubber wear. On a hot day, it is great on smoking glass, great for going back and making corrections. Okay, great for saving time on a job. You have water on demand, and not to mention, it's great closing off too, but the bad part about this is that if you're using this as a mop and you want to mop all the way down to the ground, it's kind of hard to do that. But with this tool, if you're doing a weekly or bi-weekly account, you shouldn't need to mop all the way down toward the bottom. You mop towards the top. You know, like if you agitate a few spots here and there just to get a nice coat, if you're doing a large window, this is when you do that. If you're doing a large window, you just, lightly go over it with the pad, against the window. That means you will have to move a couple inches closer to the glass before you start squeegeeing if you're doing pole work. And then you would take a couple feet back and then you would squeegee off the glass. But not so much where you can't have that glide and the rubber right up under there. You will get the feel of it as you continue to use this tool. All right? So I hope you can understand the advantages and disadvantages. The High Flyer has a more advantage over this in some cases because the High Flyer, for one thing, can scrub a lot better. And you don't have to worry about running out of water. And it's more scrubbing oomph behind it than this because of the channel and how it stays flat on the glass no matter which level you're at because of the dual pivot action. This is why the High Flyer is an all-around great route work tool. This is great too, but it depends on what are you doing. If you're just doing insides and you need to do transoms, this will blow the High Flyer away. it'll blow it away, especially on a long stretch. You'll be waiting for the high flyer to catch up. You'll be sitting down, maybe go have a drink, go to the bathroom, and the high flyer will just be getting done. With stuff like this, like that, up high, where there ain't nobody touching, there's no need to use a high flyer on a work like that. So you gotta be smart about what it is you're doing. You work smart, not hard. You could use a high flyer, I'm saying, but if you want the fastest way to get the job done, depending on what you're doing, this tool is the one you have to break out. That's why I say you will want this in your toolbox. You never know when this might come into handy. You know what I mean? If you're doing pole work by yourself and that sun feels like Mother Africa out that mug, you would want to have this because you won't have to worry about missing a dry spot because the glass is smoking so fast you can't even switch the squeegee fast enough before you get a chance to clean it off. You know what I mean? Because it'll dry that fast, especially on black glass and especially on mirror glass and mirror tint and tint, period. But this is Masters at Wagtail, and sorry for the long video. I'll see you in the next one.